ambulance! Call an ambulance! But not for me!
You look at his tense expression. Nope, he is 100% serious. But at least he's not cutting you open like a slab of meat. If you can keep him talking, maybe you'll find a way out of this mess. Yeah, he did just stab me in my Gucci shoulder. A Christmas present for your dear old mom and dad, then? Don't talk about my mother.
Oh, a sore subject, is it, then?
Your mama is a well-respected member of her community. Oh, does he have mommy issues? No, maybe he has daddy issues. Better yet, maybe both. Just two options come up. Bad talk his mom, bad talk his dad. What about your dad? Can we talk about him? Adam considers you a moment, obviously confused by your cavalier attitude despite the current situation. But he's curious enough to see where this leads. What do you want to know about him? Does he snore like a boar? Did he play catch with you as a kid? Does he barbecue and watch football on Sundays? Does he make corny dad jokes? What does he do for a living?
Are you just trying to get me to talk about myself?
To answer your questions in order, no, no, yes, no, and he's a preacher for my hometown church back in Tennessee. Ah, a fan of the big guy in the sky, eh? I'm guessing you went to church a lot as a kid.
He's got the upside down earring,
So that's either part of his boy band costume, or no, he is not a big fan of the big guy upstairs. Adam considers you for a moment. Adam considers putting another knife in your gut. Ah, so that's your angle.
I'm sorry?
It! You gasp as his nails dig into your wounded shoulder. Tears prick at the corners of your eyes, threatening to spill over, and you have to bite your lip to keep them in place. Rude. No way will you let this man get the self-satisfaction of seeing you cry. You want to keep me talking until you can think of an escape plan. Is that it? Well, I'm sorry to inform you, but that won't happen. We're alone. I'm armed with a knife, and this highway is almost always deserted. Very few cars drive along this highway, and the only reason people tend to travel here is for nefarious means or out of sheer desperation. I'm just bringing my uncle to some guns to my uncle. I'm just bringing some firearms to my forefather. I would know. I scoped out this place ahead of time. He gives you a sadistic grin. But you know what? Why not? I'll play this game for a little while longer. It could be fun, after all, giving you that small sliver of hope that someone might pass by and rescue you from your fate. I'm starting to think that we also might be the missing girl in the newspaper. Speaking of fate, let's talk about something related to that. Destiny itself. Don't worry, I promise all this circles back to my father. Now, let's see. He pauses a moment to gather his thoughts before he begins talking again. My dad. You know, it's funny. Despite being religious and believing in the power of free will, my father always thinks that destiny plays a big role in our everyday lives. He always says that while some things are in our control, other things are milestones made by God to teach us pivotal life lessons planned far in advance. A test of some sorts, you could say. Ouch! He digs his nails deeper into your wound, and you bite your lip so hard that it bleeds. Tell me something. Do you believe in destiny? Heck. Oh, well, yes, lie, no, honest. How about I save? Yeah, sure. No, honestly. Mom always said honesty was the best policy, no matter the circumstances. Sure, it might get you killed here, but he's probably already planning on doing that anyway. No. You admit through clenched teeth. Oh, so it's more like, no. Especially when people like you exist. What sick mystical bullcrap would send me to someone like you as a test? He stares down at you for a moment, dissecting you with his eyes. He's probably going to dissect me with that knife. I'll dissect him with this fist. You feel like one of those dead frogs that they use in biology class to teach teenagers how bodies work and functions, with your limbs all splayed out and pinned at your sides, ripe for organ harvesting. Is that what you want? If you want my heart, there's other ways to get it. You don't need a knife. You just might need some sushi. You wait for him to slice you wide open in response to giving the wrong answer, but to your surprise, he doesn't. Funny. I thought you'd try to lie and appease me. Typically, when I ask someone a question after they find out their life's on the line, they try to fit their answer to the one they think I'd like. No, this is the first playthrough. I'm still being honest. I, however, find honesty to be one of the most honorable traits a person can have. In fact, I'd prefer your honesty, even if our views differ. So, you believe in destiny? Why does that not surprise me? Oh, I don't. I was just curious to see how you'd answer. You wanted to get to know me, after all. Even if it was just to buy time, I figured I'd still extend the same courtesy. I normally don't let my guard down and talk about my father like this. Aren't you happy? This shows how special you are to me. Uh-oh. Wow, narcissistic much? Oh, I bet you say that to all your victims. His eyes narrow at your sarcasm, but you continue on because you can't stop yourself. Because you're bleeding from your Gucci shoulder. I truly am the luckiest person alive. I don't deserve you or your kindness. You really aren't like other serial killers. He reclaims his knife and buries it deep into your shoulder, effectively cutting you off. Ow! When he withdraws the blade, he examines the fresh blood coating the knife and frowns. I appreciate honesty to an extent, but you'll fare better if you keep your mouth shut. Make me. A childish retort in the grand scheme of things, but you'll be darned if he's getting the last word in edgewise. You watch as he angles the blade, lifting it high overhead, before bringing it down towards your sternum with the most cold-blooded expression. You have to think quickly and throw him off his guard to ensure your survival. You know what I'm gonna do. You already know. You already know what I'm gonna do. You already know. Smooch! You grit your teeth through the pain. But it's the first thing that comes to mind. Be honest, I probably would do that. I probably would totally do that. Like, oh, you're trying to kill me? I'm gonna get smooched. And then I'm gonna run away. And then I'm gonna come back and you're gonna catch these hands. Before he can react, you grab him by the scruff of his shirt and pull him down. Caught off balance, he drops his knife and braces his hands on the ground, unable to avoid your awaiting mouth. His dark eyes go comically wide as your lips touch. He goes still for a total of 2 seconds, which doesn't give you enough time to grab his knife and aim for the jugular. You expect him to shove you away, to scrub his mouth clean of you, to drive his knife down in his disgust. What you don't expect is for him to return your kiss with desperate urgency. I did kind of expect that. This guy just needs a hug. He just needs a hug. We're gonna beat him with the power of love. His mouth slides against yours, softening to the equivalent of melted butter, urging you to open your mouth with his. He's shaking uncontrollably, like a leaf caught in the wind. He's a man who sought thrill from murder, but from the looks of it, hasn't experienced much, if any, intimate interaction. You found an undeniable weakness. He's so distracted, eyelids fluttering shut in pure, unabashed pleasure, that you take the opportunity to use your other hand to search for his knife. Your hands swipe over dirt and rocks and asphalt until your hand manages to land on the hilt of the blade. You make sure you have a firm grasp and...
Bruh.
I told you we're gonna catch these hands, sir! You lodge the knife deep into his side. He cries out, rolling off your body, clearly not understanding what just happened.
Call an ambulance! Call an ambulance! But not for me!
Free of his weight, you take the golden opportunity to sprint towards your car. Smart! He calls after you, but you don't look back. Hopping into the driver's side, you rev your engine and floor it, pressing pedal to the metal. You see him limping after you in the rearview mirror and watch as he grows smaller before disappearing completely. Adrenaline pumps through your veins, heart struggling against your rib cage. For hours on the drive back to your town, you check your rearview mirror to see if he's somehow managed to teleport into your back seat, afraid he'll finish the job. I'm okay now, you say when you see your hometown on the horizon. I'm okay. Are you? Are you? Elsewhere, at 9:30 p.m. Oh boy. Oh, this is Adam's thing. Adam manages to return to his hotel room without much trouble after calling in a few favors. He's lucky you didn't hit anything vital, just a flesh wound that he managed to stitch together himself, the action of pushing a needle through skin like second nature thanks to practicing on previous victims. Also chest. He lies back on the king-size mattress, spent from walking under the crisp sun and getting hurt to boot. The sheets feel cool and oddly ticklish beneath him. Everything feels ticklish since that kiss from hours earlier, like his nerve endings are standing on end, hypersensitive to everything he touches. He absent-mindedly strokes his own bottom lip. He can still taste you, the shape of your body pressed against his, and the way you moved under him ingrained into his memory, a permanent stamp on his consciousness. He wants to see you again, to touch you, to kiss you, to claim you. Oh no! To mark you. Oh no! He's gonna take my Gucci! Stuff. Unwarranted images of you invade his mind, graphic depictions of your bodies intertwined fueling his lust and causing his hand to dip down in response. Can I read these next few lines without YouTube chucking a spear at my forehead? Am I allowed to read this? Is this going to get YouTube senpai to hate me? Did I leave the oven on? I don't think I did. I'm pretty sure I turned it off. I should probably go check. But first I gotta deal with this man. Oh shoot, this is still recording. He slowly unbuttons his jeans, unable to take much more of this corrosive heat, needing to get you out of his system when a woman's face flashes behind his eyelids. She stares at him in disappointment, tears cascading down her cheeks and over her cuts and scars. She shakes her head. Just like him, she mouths. Adam gasps and rips his hand away, tears prickling at the corners of his eyes in frustration. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Aww. Does Adam have several volumes of issue? Ow, I bit my tongue. Does Adam have several volumes of issues? Your face flashes behind his eyelids, the sun illuminating your frame like an angel descending from heavens. Stop it. You pull him down again. You kiss him. Enough! He chokes out a sob and curls into a fetal position, wishing he could bleed you out of his pores and untaint himself, but you've left your mark. If he wants to get rid of this fever, this disease, burning within him, he needs to find the source. Is he going to go to a fireplace and start singing that one song from The Hunchback of Notre Dame? And destroy it. Oh yeah, he's definitely going to throw my handkerchief into the fire with looming figures, talk about his guilt and stuff, and yell at him in Latin. He's all like, it's not my fault, I'm not to blame. It was the YouTube girl, the one who set this flame. Oh no, he's gonna have to kill me because he loves me. Adam calms himself down by taking a deep breath and letting a plan formulate in his mind. As long as he focuses on the future tasks at hand, he can handle this odd feeling overwhelming him and carry out what needs doing. When he opens his eyes, they shine with a determined light. And he promises himself he'll find you again. Oh! Good end? I like that end. That's a good end. If this is a prologue, that gets me excited for the full game. Okay, what else? What else could we do? Alright, what if we don't believe in destiny? Yeah, sure, I believe in destiny. Yeah, sure. Yeah, destiny is great. It's great, yeah, sure. You lie, thinking your answer will appease him. Yes? The corner of his lips kick upward, and for a moment you think you've answered the question correctly. That is, until he withdraws his knife again.
Call an ambulance! Call an ambulance! For me.
Adam leans close, lips brushing against your earlobe in a low, seductive voice. You're lying.
That's the best I can do. That's the best I can do.
He shifts back to his original kneeling position and drags the knife along your neck. In one swift, practiced movement, blood spills down your chest, soaked up by the ground underneath you. Your body convulses, fighting for survival, legs kicking out in a frantic effort to starve off the sudden lack of oxygen. But there's so much blood, and the man sitting on top of you watches with some sort of sick fascination while your life slips away by the second. There's not an ounce of regret reflected in those eyes of his. The only person who can save you now is yourself. You try to lift your arms to press your palms against the wound, but you're so weak that he's able to easily pin your arms at your side and tuts like a teacher disappointed in their rebellious student for acting out against their wishes. Now, there's no use in fighting the inevitable. Just let it happen. He lets go of your wrists, and you have no choice but to obey. You don't have the strength for another attempt. You watch in resigned horror as the edges of your vision turn dark, like the edges of a letter being burnt and leaving nothing but black ash in their wake. You whimper in fear, and he shushes you, pressing a finger to your lips. It's okay. This is a natural part of the process. It'll be over soon. And besides, there's a place for liars such as yourself in the afterlife, at least according to my father. I can't speak for whether or not that's true, but hey, look at it this way. At least you'll fit right in.
Jerk. Bet in too. Liar, liar. So I'm guessing there's a lot of biblical stuff, as I'm just now noticing, like, hey, his name is Adam. Hey, there's sure a lot of apples in this. Hey, that's a snake. So if he's like this, what does that say for the rest of the band? Alright, fine. Let's see if we can claw at his eyes.
You lurch forward as far as you can and try to jab your thumbs into his eyes.
That's a good strategy.
He scoffs and easily grabs your wrists, pinning your hands above your head in one swift movement, using his weight against you. You're nose to nose, and you can see flecks of gold in those psychotic eyes of his.
Ooh, I like golden eyes.
He's grinning like a madman. Never pegged you for the violent type. It's not really becoming of you, if I'm being honest, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah, you didn't expect to get smooched last time, now did ya?
You struggle to breathe with the full weight of his chest bearing down on yours. He's enjoying your weak attempts to hold him off. Okay, that's actually a lie. I expected you to cry first and then fight back when crying didn't work. How about it? Why don't you cry for me?
Ow!
You gasp as something sharp drills into your side, shifting back and forth. Tears prick at the corners of your eyes as you hear the sound of your flesh being sliced into you like a butcher cutting into meat. You're trembling from both adrenaline and the knowledge that you aren't making out of this alive. Oops, too late. Guess I have no choice but to gut you up like the violent pig you are. Hold still, okay?
Ow.
He drives his knife down the center of your body, starting from your chest and slicing all the way down to your belly button in one swift motion.
These guts are Gucci! You're spilling them on the ground, sir!
Agony rips through you like a bolt of catastrophic lightning, vision turning pure white. You try blinking to clear out your vision, but find your eyelids aren't cooperating. No part of your body operates like it should. You know, Adam's voice flitters through the field of white. I almost thought you were interesting, and maybe even a little bit cute, but that vicious personality of yours changed my mind. You feel him adjust himself over your limp body, and can only assume he's lifting the knife again. I'm glad to rid the world of a violent person like you. The blade buries itself in your chest, past your ribs, and pierces straight through your heart.
Ah, this heart is good.
The world goes quiet, and you fade into the white.
Bet in 3. Violent.
Nice. Let's see, was there anything else that I could do? I don't think so.
That's nice. That's nice. I like that. I like this game. I like to see where it's going. I like Adam. He's alright. He's gonna catch these hands, though. Messing up my Gucci rib cage. Well, that was You and Him. Very, very nice game. This game is still in very early development, but I really like it so far. And you can follow this person on itch.io if you are 18. This game is meant for adults. Don't forget that. This game is meant for adults. It may have triggering things in it. As you can see, he spilled my Gucci guts onto the sidewalk. Very rude. But I am eager to see how this game continues and what Adam will do next. So thank you so much for hanging out with me. Take care of yourself, have a great night, and remember, there is always hope.